Hey there folks, and welcome back. I'm your host CDB or not, and let's get right into the shave today. We're using some new stuff, or a couple of new things I should say. First is the West Coast shaving brush, synthetic, which you see right here. It's really handsome, folks. Really handsome. I believe the knot is 26 millimeters, if I'm not mistaken. West Coast Shaving has a very fine selection of shaving brushes, house brand. And they always send them in these tubes that are very nice. It protects the brush. They're wrapped in paper inside. Really nice. This one was 20 some bucks, like 27-ish, I want to say. They do have cheaper brushes, but man, this one is extremely handsome. Also going to be using the leaf razor. It's been a long time since I've used the leaf razor, and I will be doing a head shave with this tomorrow. So Arthur, hang in there, I'll be getting to it. The leaf uses half size DE blades, or DE blades that are broken in half. And there's 3 of them in there, so there's a little wheel on the back. You loosen it up, and then, well, you can't see anything I'm doing here. But anyway, you put the blades in, you know, each in one little part of the razor, like so. Put the top down. You can't see any of this because I'm not keeping it in the camera. Apologies, folks. Anyway, when everything is working as designed and I'm not trying to raise it way up, you pop your blades in, put the top down. Let me adjust that last blade because it got out of whack. And this is what happens sometimes, folks, when you're trying to show things in the camera and you're not actually paying attention. But you see, that's how the last blade is. And then we have your other blades like so. Top goes down, and we will tighten it up from the back. That holds them in. So you're shaving with like 3 blades at a time. Actually, it's 1.5 because you've snapped DE blades in half. Anyway, sorry for the confusion there. Also, by viewer request, Kiss My Face Moisture Shave, Key Lime. I love lime, so I don't know if this lathers or not. So I'm just going to squirt a little bit in the bowl. Since it's the first time, I'll give it a good try. And we'll see if it lathers. We'll wet our West Coast shaving brush. And then we'll see if it lathers, because I don't know whether this stuff lathers or not. It could be latherless. It may lather. I can't really say because I've never used it. And, you know, first time for everything. It's not bursting into lather, but it's really silky. What lather there is silky. Let's add a little water to it and see how we end up. It's a really, like, the mix on this is a really rich, silky sort of lather. No, problem is you can't see, and I'm sure that's aggravating for you. It's frustrating for me as well. Thanks everyone for coming back. Thanks for all the support. I really appreciate it. Wow. It's not generating a ton of lather, but the lather that's in there is of a very nice consistency. Stand by, let me get my pre-shave. And all right, so wetting the face before we apply our pre-shave, and then we'll see how we do today on this Friday. I hope everyone had a terrific day. This will probably be airing on Saturday, recorded on Friday, but I hope everybody had a good Friday when you get around to seeing this. Thank you so much for all the comments. Really appreciate it. Please make a comment below if you like, and we'll try to get to it when I can. There's been some good conversation, and I thank you very much. All right, let's see how we do with our Kiss My Face cream. On the bottle it says 4-in-1. You know, it's supposed to moisturize and do this and that and the other thing. And we'll see how it goes. Could be good. I got this on Amazon. I will put a link for you below if you're interested in buying from the affiliate link. It helps the channel out. Thank you very much. All right. Well, really no problem from a lather perspective other than me getting it all over my sugar, which is kind of par for the course, as you well know. It doesn't have a really strong scent, just a very subtle lime scent, but the lather, it feels really nice as far as how it feels. It's hard to describe, but it's got a really nice consistency. It's not the least bit bubbly at all. So let me stop thrashing around in the water here and get to shaving with our leaf razor. And this particular razor pivots. Now, I saw another razor the other day, can't remember the name of it, that was proclaiming that it was the first razor that used a double-edged type blade that pivots. I don't know if their advertising was true, because I think the leaf came out first. And this pivots, as you can well see. And it feels great. There are times where I part ways from conventional wisdom as it applies to traditional shaving enthusiasts. There were people in the traditional shaving hobby who just did not like this razor at all. I like it. I think it does a swell job. And Arthur had mentioned it today, and I said, let's get it out and use it. It feels really nice and smooth. Is it a little gimmicky? Maybe, but it does a good job. And that is, what I like about it. And it does pivot, so, take that for what it's worth. And by the way, if I happen to get a weeper on here, it's not this razor, because I got myself yesterday with the Beast. So it is not this razor. That feels good. I like this razor personally. I like the leaf. The only thing that makes it a little bit difficult is like here where that head is wide, to sort of figure out where you are. That's a little bit difficult. But I mean, as far as just general shaving, I think it does a good job, and I like it personally. And again, I saw in the groups and forums many people that poo-pooed this razor, and I just disagree. I like it for myself. And I think it does generally a good job for my needs, for my use case. Everything is always based on this channel for my use case, unless I say otherwise. Unless I'm specifically referring to someone else or some other use case that I'm citing. All the opinions here are based on my own use, unless stated otherwise. So that's important to understand, is your use case might be a little bit different from mine. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I like the leaf. I think it does a good job. I think some people, it is called traditional shaving, and some people don't like sort of untraditional equipment. My perspective is, if you're still shaving in the traditional style, that is with using the 2 or 3 pass progressive beard reduction, using a brush, high quality soap, so on and so forth, I think it's fine if you use modern equipment. Just me. And again, that's an area where I part ways with the traditional absolutists who they don't have any tolerance for, anything that's considered somewhat gimmicky. But I actually like the fact that this razor pivots and it's multi-blade. I think it's pretty cool. Not everyone agrees, obviously. I was having a discussion with a fellow about the Razor Rock Switch on, in the comments, and his perspective was the Switch was nothing like a shavette or straight razor because of its design. And, I certainly defer on issues where I don't have a lot of experience. I defer to people who do have experience. So basically I said, ultimately I have to defer to your experience because I don't use shavettes and straights every day or even regularly. So, but anyway, you can have a great discussion with somebody like that without being upset and butthurt and so on. How is the Kiss My Face doing? It's doing good, actually. Not much scent to it. That would be the only knock that I have on it so far, is there just isn't a lot of scent. Other than that, as far as performance goes for the shave, obviously I can't tell you about the post with this particular cream, but as far as the shave itself goes, it's doing a really fine job. So it's nothing that I would avoid, just based on my use now. Now, obviously, if I break out later, an hour later in hives or something, that would be an issue. But so far, so good. And we will hope that the last pass goes as well as the first two. Again, thanks to everyone. Our subscriptions are at about 50% now. So if you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button below and like. Thumbs up if you enjoy the content. Doesn't mean, again, that you agree. But if you appreciate the content and the effort, thumbs up is helpful and I really appreciate it. All right, let's go for our last pass. By the way, the West Coast shaving brush, thumbs up. I highly recommend, if you are interested in a synthetic brush for budget prices, go check out West Coast Shaving, because they have one of the best selections of house brand synthetics that I have seen. And I say that having bought this brush. West Coast Shaving is not a sponsor. I don't earn any money from West Coast Shaving. I don't work for West Coast Shave. I don't work for any shave retailer, for that matter. But man, I really like their synthetic offerings. They got a lot of nice looking synthetic brushes. Now, can you get synthetic brushes elsewhere cheaper? Sometimes in 12, 13, yeah. But I mean, I think they have the best selection of good looking brushes that appeal to me. Again, they sort of hit the buttons for me in terms of just looking good. And I gotta say, the Leaf has done a fantastic job. The blades in here, by the way, are GSB. Gillette Silver Blue. It's been a long time since I've used this razor, and I don't know why, honestly. Because it just very easily, pivots. It's sort of like a cart, but it's not a cart. And you have the advantage of using DE blades. It's got a long handle. I don't know if I dig the super long handle, but overall, it's a good shaver for me in my use case. I like it. Leaf razor. You can see that tomorrow or whenever I post the head shave. So Arthur, it's coming. Stay tuned. I want to thank everybody for watching. Let's just end with saying, Ben, the Kiss My Face, it was no problem at all. It did a great job from a quality perspective. It says soften, smooths, soothes, moisturize. I don't know if it does all that, but it's perfectly adequate and pretty darn good for shaving, at least based on one use. West Coast Shaving Brush, terrific and handsome. Love it. And the Leaf razor did its work in exemplary fashion as far as I'm concerned. And when we get out, we're going to hit it with our Thayer's magic made by witches. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks to the patrons. And if you want to become a patron, there is the link. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. God bless.